Hey everybody, this is Tansy Matheson, founder of Foundations Bodywork, where we help people to transform their bodies into the body of their dreams. Now, what do we mean by transform bodies? Because transformation is a big word. At its essence, it means to take something and change it from one form into another. Not just to make incremental progress, but actually to fundamentally change something's form so that what you end up with is entirely different from what you started with. And in the case of your body, this can mean a few things. If you're watching this video now, it's likely because you're either looking to get out of pain. You're dealing with some sort of chronic pain, disability, or injury that won't go away. And you want to get from there to having your life back. Or maybe on the other hand, you are doing pretty good. You don't feel like you're in pain and can get through your life pretty well. But you'd love to shed a few extra pounds. You'd love to have more energy. And you'd love to be able to do all the things that you do, whether it's golf, playing with your kids, working, CrossFit, or even if you're a professional athlete, to be able to do that to a higher level. And the essence of transformation is that you can make not only slow progress toward those goals, but you can actually make leaps of transformation toward where you want to be. Whether that's from pain to having your life back, or from having your life to having an amazing life. That transformation is possible, and it's possible because your body can heal. Now, last time we talked about the 6 foundations of health. 3 things that you input into your body and 3 things that you do with your body to turbocharge your body's ability to heal so that you heal and grow faster, and that transformation takes place faster than it otherwise could, or it makes that transformation possible where it wasn't before. Today we're going to talk in a little more detail about the first 3 of those, the 3 things you put in your body, which are nutrition, rest, and mindset, otherwise known as healthy lifestyle. And I know that healthy lifestyle is a nightmare, especially for most Americans, because there is so much information out there on what a healthy diet should be, on what a healthy exercise program should be, and it gets confusing. And the number one thing I hear from my clients and my friends and my family before embarking on some kind of lifestyle program is, I just don't know where to start. There's so much out there, and I know so much of it won't work. And most importantly, I don't know what's going to work for me, because your body is unique. And you need a program that's going to work with who you are and how your body works. The trick here is to make the leap in your mindset from easy changes to simple changes. There are a lot of easy things you can do. Everything from popping a pill to just get one thing out of your diet, or just add one thing to your diet, or just do this one exercise routine and then everything will change. But the truth is, most of the time those easy things, one thing alone doesn't work. It's a matter of combining a few different things, and then those things stack and amplify each other. And if something is easy to start, but you stack 100 easy things on top of each other, it's not easy anymore. There's a lot going on. So on the other hand, we have changes that are a little harder to implement, things like eat a whole foods diet, which might sound more complicated because what does that mean? And it takes a little bit of effort to get started, but once you do, it simplifies your life. Once you understand what that means and how to do it, it's so easy that not only do you benefit from the enhanced energy, better well-being, getting rid of symptoms from chronic disease, helping your body heal from injury, but at the same time, you're actually making meal preparation easier. You're eating in a way that costs you less and is going to simplify your life overall, so that you're getting a net gain in time, a net gain in money, as well as that gain in energy and your overall health. Those are the kinds of changes that are going to be sustainable to make a lasting change in your life. And those are the kinds of changes we're going to be talking about today. Here we have nutrition, rest, and mindset, all 3 of which are essential to your health. In the last video, we talked a little bit about why each of these is important and a little bit about what they mean. In this video, I'm going to give you 3 action items for each, 3 things that you can go out and start doing now that may not be the easiest to start implementing, but are going to be the simplest long term. I've also selected the 3 top things that are universal, because some lifestyle things are going to apply to all of us because we're human, and some are going to have to be different for everyone because we're all unique. So I've selected ones that are actually universal, that we all share in common as human beings, so that you know the things up in this board are meant for you. They may not be the be-all and end-all, because we all have unique bodies and we're all going to need some details that aren't going to be here. But in terms of looking for something that is fundamental, that's universal, that you know will get you started on your path and help make significant progress just within one system, this is it. So let's get started. Under nutrition, which incorporates not just what you eat, but also what you drink, the first most important piece is water, because 75% of your body is water, and the water in your body is responsible for transporting pretty much everything from your bloodstream to inside of your cells and even your digestive system. So if you don't have enough water, nothing is going to get where it needs to or be able to function properly. The minimum that you need for water is at least 8 to 10 glasses of water a day. And that's 8 to 10 8-ounce cups. So a shot glass or a juice cup of water is too little. And a lot of people also make the mistake of thinking that a big gallon jug of water is 1 glass and they need 8 of those every day just to stay healthy. And they're like, that's crazy. No, it's 8-ounce glasses of water, which is like a standard medium-sized cup. And if you have, for example, a 16-ounce cup, then it's 4 to 5 of those. If you have a 32, then it's 2 or 3. 8 to 10 8-ounce cups of water, and staying hydrated, it's going to make a huge difference in how you feel. It's going to lower your appetite and give you way more energy consistently throughout the day. The second piece is eat real food. And there are 3 categories of things that are not real food that I'm going to tell you about. Of course, dietary changes are one of the hardest things to implement, so we're going to try to keep it as simple as possible. Again, not necessarily the easiest thing to start because there are a few different pieces, but it's going to be a simple diet that's easy to follow and gives you tons of energy without a lot of different rules. There are 3 things, the first of which is get rid of synthetic foods, things that were never really a food to begin with. Whether that's red 40 or nitrates, other things that are colorants, artificial flavorings, that are basically there to trick your body or to preserve a food longer than its actual expiration date. Many of those things were never foods, they were never meant for your body, and they shouldn't be in your body. And it's especially important to get rid of these because they are going to trick your body into not recognizing the things that are real food that you put in your body. So it's essential to get rid of them so that your body can recognize what you're putting in and be able to process it appropriately. The second piece of real food is GMO food, genetically modified organisms. And those are types of plants which are a real food or look like a real food, but their genes have been modified to make them bigger, prettier looking, but not healthier for you. And what happens during that genetic modification process is it's changing the quality of that food and how good it is for your health, and it's also creating certain things that many of us are allergic to. And even if we're not seeing symptoms of that allergy directly, it'll change the way, again, that our body processes other foods that we eat. So a lot of the things you see out there right now, like wheat allergies, soy allergies, corn allergies, fruits, many of those are because we're eating genetically modified versions of those foods. Many people who are allergic to soy are not allergic to non-GMO soy, only the GMO. But it's very hard, especially with very low standards for product labeling, to tell which is which. So you can either start to be very careful about whether you're eating GMO or not, or you can just cut out the foods that are frequently genetically modified, things like corn, soy, and wheat, and just stop eating them. It's your choice, whichever is easiest for you to start and will be simplest for you to maintain. The third piece is real foods that are not genetically modified but have been heavily processed. And a big one for this is breads, cereals, pastas, all of these things that were a whole grain and now have been ground or cut up so that now they're actually in a different form, in a form that our body is not used to recognizing. And what this does to our bodies is, for example, a grain of rice. Your body is used to digesting first the outside of that grain of rice, which has more of the protein, more of the nutrients, and it slows down the absorption of all the starches, of all the carbohydrates in that rice. When you grind it up and turn it into rice crackers or rice bread, which is thought to be healthier, you still have a ground up product where your body says, ooh, lots of carbs. They're all readily accessible. Let's take those first. And then later on, if I have time, I'll get the nutrients. So you end up absorbing less nutrition from that rice, and you're getting this massive blood sugar spike, which is causing all sorts of problems in your body that I can't even go into right now. So if you stick to a whole real foods diet, which includes getting rid of anything that wasn't a food to begin with, anything that used to be a food but then was genetically modified, or was a real food and then heavily processed into a different form, so that you're only eating things that are actually whole foods right now. Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, things like meat, if they're healthy cuts of meat, that is going to make a tremendous difference. The third piece is pH, and this is how acid or alkaline your body is. Acid is a low pH. 7 is right in the middle, and your body wants to be just above 7, and then alkaline is anything above that 7 line. Because your body is 75% water, and any kind of liquid is going to have a pH to it, if your pH drops, then everywhere in your body, you're going to have this pH start to drop, and your body is going to do everything it can to compensate. Because when you start having an acidic pH, a low pH, chemical reactions can't take place the same way, or different chemical reactions take place, or they take place at different rates. Your cells will also actually mutate in the presence of too much acid. There have been documented cases where they've observed red blood cells transforming from a red blood cell into something that looked like a virus when it entered an acid environment, and then transforming back into a red blood cell, normal red blood cell, perfectly healthy, the moment it was in an alkaline, a non-acidic environment again. So it is important both for the prevention of cancer, which is, of course, the mutation of cells, but also to help with things like arthritis, bone loss, are all highly linked with having a low body pH. Low energy and eating problems and having trouble losing weight, also heavily linked into pH. So you can either test your pH and then go on a program to correct it, or simply eat more foods that make your body more alkaline and less foods that make your body acidic. Now, it's important again to know the difference between alkaline and acidic foods, and alkaline forming and acidic forming foods. Because, for example, vinegar, lemon, lime, we know these as acid foods. But once our body processes them, what comes out is actually a more alkaline body. Whereas on the other hand, things like grains and meats, when we eat them, don't seem terribly acid. But after we process them, actually make our bodies more acid. It's very easy, just do a quick Google search, you will find lists of acid forming and alkaline forming foods. And that's a case where it's not about all or nothing, simply eat more alkaline forming and less acid forming foods, and you're going to start to tip the pH. One more thing I'll note for nutrition is it's important to know when there are hard and fast lines and when it's simply a matter of more is better. There's moderation in some cases, and sometimes it's really best to get rid of moderation entirely. For example, real food. When you eat something that's not a real food, not only does that food itself do some damage to your body, but it can trick your body and actually change the way your digestive system is working and change the hormones in your body so that you can't process other foods well either. It starts a chain reaction, and you don't want that chain reaction to start. So it's really important to strip everything that's not a real food from your diet. You may have tolerance for a little bit, but you'll start to notice as you eat healthier and you get rid of things that aren't real food, they make you sick. If you clean your diet up for 2 to 4 weeks and then try to add those things back in, you'll notice the difference. You only can't feel it right now because you're used to it. So that's a case where you don't want moderation. You really want all or nothing. Whereas in the case of pH, you're going to eat some acid-forming foods, either some meat or some grains or something that's going to create a little bit of extra acid in your body. What's important is that you start to tip the balance by eating more alkaline-forming foods so that your pH starts to rise and your body can recover from being in an acidic environment. So that's nutrition in a nutshell. 3 action items that you can get started on right now, do on your own, that are going to work pretty much for everyone because we all have bodies. The second piece is rest. And we all know we need our rest, and very few of us get enough. The first piece is the one we all know, which is sleep. That 8 to 9 hours of sleep a night is absolutely essential, and let me tell you why. Many times, people think they can get away without enough sleep, and you might be able to for a day or two, or even for days on end. But research has shown, even if you feel okay and you can get through your day, your actual cognitive ability, your intelligence drops. You start making mistakes, working less efficiently, and you cost yourself more time than you would have spent getting enough sleep. And not only does it impact the next day, it will impact you for the rest of the week. So if you are sleeping less than you should, less than that 8 hours, or minimum 7, because you don't have enough time, then you are kidding yourself because you're losing more time by being tired than you would by sleeping. 8 to 9 hours on a regular schedule every night and getting good quality sleep is really important. The second piece is rest during the day. It's not enough to live a crazy hectic life for 16 hours and then crash for 8 and live a stressed, kind of restless sleep. You know that kind of sleep isn't healing, so it's important to be rested throughout the day and not just to try to do it all at the end of the night. And there are a few ways you can do this. The first is to start with something that relaxes you in the morning and end with something that relaxes you at night. And then you also want to be doing things throughout the day that keep your stress level low and keep you at a calm, more focused, productive place. One of the greatest things to do is every hour, at least once an hour, get up from your desk, take a 5-minute break. Take a walk around, clear your head, don't think about anything, don't think about what you're going to do for the next 55 minutes or everything that just went wrong for the last 55. Simply clear your head, take a walk, go to the water cooler, get whatever you need to reset. Because just like your body gets tired if you work out for too long in a row, your brain gets tired when you use it. And at about 45 to 55 minutes, you really hit that point of diminishing returns, where if you don't take a break and actually shut your brain down, you're losing productivity. The same way that losing sleep actually wastes your time in the long run, not taking that 5-minute break wastes your time in the long run by getting less done, making more mistakes, and generally just dragging and not being at your best. Even if you don't have time for a 5-minute break, try 1 minute. Or even just closing your eyes and breathing for 30 seconds will help you reset and get you both mentally and emotionally back on track so that you can be at your best. So if it's a matter of time, if it's a matter of my boss is watching, if it's a matter of I can't leave my post, 30 seconds, closing your eyes, relaxing, and you'll be back better than ever. The third is to release. Because there are a lot of theoretically restful activities like sleep, like television, like books, like conversation. But if we do them in a way that doesn't actually let go, then it's very easy to sit there slightly stressed. And it's taking us from maybe 100% stressed to 20%. But that 20% is preventing our body from healing as fast as we want. And remember, all of these 6 foundations are about helping your body to heal really quickly. So by actually releasing and getting rid of the rest of that stress, getting down to that 0%, totally relaxed, peaceful place, while you're resting, you're going to enjoy it more, you're going to remember it better, get more out of it, and your body will be healing more while you're doing it. Especially for sleep, because sleep happens for 8 hours straight. You know when you go to bed stressed that you tend to wake up stressed and not feeling refreshed. Whereas when you go to bed relaxed, you wake up much better. So it's important to actually release throughout your day in little ways, and then at the end of the day before you go to sleep to get the most out of those 8 hours. Whether that's a hot bath, a massage, something that will help you to completely let go so that by the end of the night you are ready to be asleep. If you put all these things together, sleep as the activity at the end of the night where your brain shuts down completely and everything can reboot. Rest as the activity throughout the day, any number of activities throughout the day that will help keep bringing your stress level down, resetting yourself and keeping you in a high performance mode. And release, which means while you're doing either of these two things, getting rid of all the stress and being in a completely peaceful state, full relaxation, where your body's going to get the most out of the time that you spend sleeping and resting, you're going to notice a tremendous difference in your energy, in your health, and how fast you heal from anything that comes your way. Now, the third and last piece is mindset. And we often think of mindset as, the realm of psychology, which is separate from the realm of health. But in truth, mind and body are very closely connected. Because your mind is related to your brain, which has a bunch of neurons not only in your brain, but those neurons go out throughout your entire body. In terms of, you have motor neurons, which help you move. You have sensory neurons, like for pain and cold and heat. And then you also have other sensory neurons and communicating neurons that go through your internal organs, that sense if those organs need to heal, if everything's okay, that even sense if you're full or not. So if eating is a problem, a lot of times it actually is related to the nerves being off because you're in the wrong mental state and your brain is so worried about processing that deadline you have for tomorrow that it forgets to listen to see if your stomach's full. It makes it very easy to overeat. Now, this is true in so many cases across the board that it makes it absolutely essential to keep your mind positive, relaxed, and focused on things that are actually bringing you forward. So the three important pieces to do that, the most important three things to get started are, one is to engage. Now, it's very easy to go through your day just kind of getting by, right? And you know that those days you're just there to get by tend to not be the most productive. You tend to not enjoy them, and you don't even really remember what happened. So you got by, but that's a whole day of your life wasted. And you got behind because you didn't get much done, so it just makes the next day even worse. So showing up not engaged is just not an option if you want to live a really great life. Also, if you're not mentally engaged, you tend to not be physically engaged. And that's where we see the creeping posture issues. That's where we see your health kind of shutting down, your body not healing itself because it's too busy trying to keep your brain running on things that are not even important. Getting engaged is a matter of feeling something. Because you know how easy it is to get engaged when you're mad at someone. And you know how even if you want to stop yelling, it's almost impossible to stop because you're so emotional. And you know how easy it is to get engaged when there's something super positive and exciting going on where you couldn't even calm down and slow down and stop talking if you wanted to. But then there are those days where there isn't anything particularly good or particularly bad, and you have to create that emotion for yourself so that you can really come down and be present with what's going on right now. The second piece of that is to be positive, because it's very easy to get negatively engaged with your job, with how much you hate your boss, with how much there is to get done, with how much you resent your spouse for eating an apple the wrong way or something silly that they did. And you can just get stuck in this cycle of negative engagement with something that's not helping you. And not only is it not helping you to improve your life, it's wasted thought. The time that you're in those negative thought patterns, those negative thoughts are actually sending hormonal signals to your body to stop healing as fast, to go into preservation mode. And it causes stress, it causes extra cortisol and weight gain, and it lowers your body's capacity to heal. So super important not only to be engaged, but to be engaged in things that are positive. And the number one way to do this is to start focusing on solutions rather than problems. For the most part, when we get stuck in those negative thought patterns, it tends to be, oh, there's a problem. There's too much to get done. There's too much to get done. I have no way to change the situation. I'm stuck. And we're focused on what's wrong, and we never make that leap to, what would I need to do to fix this? Because that's when you step in and you take responsibility for your actions. That's when things start to change. Not only will it change your ability to be productive in your life and to get more out of it, to change those circumstances so you stop sitting there and being the victim, but you're also helping your mindset. Because when you ask your mind, what would I have to change to make this work? All of a sudden your brain goes, ooh, it's a puzzle I can solve. And brains love puzzles. So it's like, ooh, puzzle, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? And you just got positively engaged in something. It's the best way to quickly shift your mindset is to ask yourself a question about how you can find a solution. If you put these three together, being engaged in a positive way, and whenever you slip out of that positive engagement, ask yourself a question about how you're going to get to a solution. Whether that solution is solving a problem that you're thinking about right now, or simply you're bored, you're not engaged. There isn't a particular problem, you're just kind of being. And you ask yourself, what would be fun right now? Or what if I had no restrictions, if I weren't stuck here, what would I be doing? So all of a sudden you asked for a solution to your boredom. You asked for a solution to your not being engaged. And then you're on track. Putting these three together will get you about 80-90% of the way. If you really put them into action, start mastering these. Just these three things alone will get you 80 or 90% of the way toward whatever goal you want to achieve. And after that, it's all little details. So that is essentially healthy lifestyle in a nutshell. We didn't go into exercise program in this video because we're going to talk about movement and the accompanying exercise program in the next video. Which, by the way, if you haven't already signed up to receive the whole 3-part training series, go to foundationsbodywork.com right here and enter your name and email to get subscribed, because you want to see the three together. You're going to get such a bigger picture of what's going on, and you're going to get way more out of it. And it's all free and ready for the taking. So that is nutrition, rest, and mindset, which are the three things you put into your body, the three foundations, 3 pillars on the input side of getting healthy. Next time we'll talk about the other 3, which are aspects of movement, mobility, coordination, and strength that are going to get you the other half of the way to living the life you want and having the body you want. Now it's really important to remember that these 6 foundations all work together. And it's important to have all 6 of them strong. Just like if you had a building with 6 pillars and you pulled down one of those pillars, the building would start to crumble, even if the other 5 pillars were completely intact and strong. I hear all the time, I've tried everything and it doesn't work. And almost always in those cases, they've tried everything except 1 or 2 things. And those are the things that are holding them back and making all that effort that they're going through seem like nothing. So it's important to start with actually where you're the weakest and start to improve that, because that's going to make the most difference fastest in your life. If you're looking to make incremental changes, then certainly improve on the things you're already great at. If you want to see serious transformation, then it's time to do something new. It's time to challenge your boundaries, to challenge what you're used to, and to make real changes in your life. because you need changes in what you put in order to get changes in what you get out. And that's what you're looking for, a better body and a better quality of life. So my challenge to you for today is to pick 3 of these action items. It can be 1 from each category, or if there's a place you're particularly weak, pick all 3 from that category, or 2 from one from another. Either way, the 3 that overall you are weakest in, that you need the most help with. And I want you to write down what those are. There's a form you can download below, totally free. It shows you what these 9 action items are, as well as another 9 bonus advanced action items for those of you who are already doing pretty well on these and want to take it to the next level. But especially if you're just getting started, pick 3 of these, or 3 total between these and the advanced. Write them down on that sheet. There's a space just for that, where you're going to write down what those are that you're going to work toward, and then, most importantly, what you're going to do today to start. So, for example, if you're choosing water, start carrying a water bottle. If you want to raise your pH, raise the amount of alkaline-forming fruits and vegetables in your diet. Maybe just one thing. Maybe you're just going to add more apples, or you're going to eat less meat. If it's sleep, commit to just falling asleep at the same time every night. If it's being positive, find one thought that you can keep in your head that's going to keep you engaged in a positive way. So 3 things, and 1 thing you're going to start to do today for each of those. I also hear all the time, I don't have enough time, especially for 3 things. Well, remember, it's an important difference between easy and simple. Popping 3 pills a day might seem easier, but over time, when those pills don't work on their own, and you take another 3 pills, another 5 pills, another 100 pills, and you have all of these things that are going into your life, it becomes really complicated. If you start with just 3 things, and only 1 step toward each of those things, it's going to start to simplify your life. If you feel you don't have enough time right now, it's likely because you're running on low energy. And you are tired, you're in a negative mindset, and it's holding you back from getting as much done as you want to. That makes it even more important to start taking some of these measures that are going to simplify your life, that are going to make you healthy, give you more energy, and ultimately give you more time back into your life. So start with 3 things today. The last thing that I hear is, I can't do this on my own. I have such a long way to go. I don't know if it's even possible. If it is, I can't do it on my own. In that case, there are plenty of great resources out there, and I'll share a bunch of them with you in the future. You can also, of course, come through us. And for those of you who are really dedicated to getting started and making this happen, remember you have a chance to actually win 3 sessions to get started. Now, the way to do that, again, is to post a video below. According to the instructions, it's going to be about who you are, what you want to achieve with your body, why that's important to you, and 3 things that you're going to do to start today. Now, you already have those 3 things, and I think you already have a pretty good idea of what you want from your body and how it will change your life. So with information you already know, you have the chance not only to focus your thoughts and to put them out there to the world in a way that's saying, I am ready to make this decision. I am ready to take a step forward. You also are going to start inspiring other people. And the 3 most heartfelt, inspirational videos are going to win a free starter pack of 3 sessions to get you on the road to that goal. So I hope to see you there. I also really hope to see posts from you on the board below, on our Facebook page at Achieve Vitality, facebook.com/Achieve Vitality, which is the umbrella under which we do Foundations Bodywork and all of our other transformation. There's a great community there, and I really look forward to seeing your posts and seeing you become active, because there are some wonderful people there all looking to get healthy and support each other, and there's so much support and love there. I really hope you'll join us. So I'll see you soon, one place or another, and until then, open your heart, own your power, and start building a better body today.